Well, hey there. I'm back, checking back in with you. Today, I want to talk to you about another way of journaling. So, in the last couple weeks, I've been talking to you about just really how important journaling is and how effective it is to help you gain clarity with your thoughts and emotions that will help you in your weight loss journey. Because in the last couple weeks, I've talked about being an emotional eater because that has been my tagline for many years. You know, when I would have a bad day or things would happen, I would go and eat over it. So the journaling helped me clarify how I was tying all my thoughts and emotions and all that back to the eating. And writing about it really helped me. So I shared with you the 22 journal prompts. And if you still haven't signed up for those, you will be able to drop below this video. I will put a link that you can go up and sign and get those for free. And it's 22 journal prompts that lean in towards being with your family this time of year, how you want to show up, how you want to show up around the food. And it's 22 prompts that, I thought long and hard about them and I thought these could be really helping other people. So I wanted to share those with you. So this last Monday, I posted about if you haven't got time for the 22 journal prompts, which look, we're busy guys. You've got jobs, you're, or we've all got jobs, but we're Christmas shopping, family, events are going to start happening, the parties and things. We're busy. So we're thinking, I don't have time to journal. We've went through that thought. We've went through the thought of, I don't know what to journal about. I talked about that in the last video, how to journal, what to journal about. So Monday, I shared with you the 5-minute journal. And it was just really simple questions that you asked at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And it literally takes you 5 minutes. Now, that was Monday's video. You can just go back and look at that post to get the way to 5-minute journal. And there's a lot of traditional methods that you can do with journaling. And I just want to remind you that studies do show that when we are writing, that slows our brain down and connects us to more of the remembering why these things were important and just getting it out on paper. Now, for those that don't have the time to journal like that, I want to offer you some other ideas. And these were really useful for me because one of them I really use to this day. You hear a lot of people talk about the Marco Polo app. Now, the Marco Polo app is free to download. I actually use it with several of my accountability partners. It gives you the opportunity to send short videos to talk to each other when you don't have time to just slow down and call them or text them. You can just pop on, send a short video. They respond when they have time. I also use this for my journaling to myself. Because when I journal on page, I have found out the most useful way for me to journal is to write like I'm talking to myself. I talk to myself. I usually start with, hey, love. Good morning, beautiful. How are you? And then it's like dumping out all the thoughts about how do I feel? What am I thinking? It's almost easier for me to talk to myself on the paper than actually going and looking in the mirror to do it. Some days that's a little bit more difficult. But the Marco Polo helps me send notes. And I even do love notes to myself. Like I will send a quick note to myself on Marco Polo. Hey, I love that shirt, by the way, which this is one of my favorite shirts. I've had a lot of compliments about it and I absolutely love it. And I thought, well, I'm going to wear that today. But I will send a note to myself, reminding myself, hey, I love that shirt. Don't forget, you look good in it. I send love notes to myself. And I also send myself notes of, hey, you just had this shitty thought. Maybe we need to think about this, talk about this. Why are you thinking that? Is this a useful thought? Is this really being kind to you? Now that's using the 3 questions that I talked about in the video, I believe, on Monday and the journaling video. But those 3 questions, anytime that I write, helps me so much. But the Marco Polo is a great way to journal. And you can count that as journaling. Your brain may be wanting to think, no, that's not. No, it is. It's you having that conversation with yourself. You're just doing it verbally and you're recording it and you are looking at yourself there, just like you're talking to yourself when you're doing it on paper. Okay. You can also use, if you have an iPhone, you can just record a video. And the good thing about the Marco Polo videos and the videos that you do on your phone, you can delete them. When you're tired of looking at them or you've said what you said, you've got it, you can delete them. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is another type of journaling. And I'm sure you've seen the title, The Rage on the Page. And you probably thought, well, what does that mean? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you no fibs. I love Honey, but there's days that Honey plain pisses me off. He may piss me off, or somebody else in my life may piss me off, and I just want to just lose my shit. But a lot of times that's not useful for us to go and lose our shit because we're in the heat of the emotion. It's just not useful to go do that because we don't really know what their model is, what they're thinking. Honey said something one day, and I literally had all the thoughts about it to the point that I wrote a model about it. I even took it to my coaching session and talked about it, like why it bothered me, so on and so forth. Because he said something, I had a thought about it, which created the feeling, which made me have certain actions that I wasn't proud of. I like didn't talk to him the rest of the afternoon. And then the result was he wasn't being the asshole. I was being a bitch. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I got the results that I did not want. So another type of journaling for me is the rage on the page. And what I mean by that is there are times that I am pissed. And it doesn't always do me a lot of good to call a friend and just dump it out because, I don't need her to commiserate with me. I need somebody to help slow me down, look at why I had this thought, what is it causing these feelings and so forth. So another way to examine my thoughts, my emotions, and my feelings is to do the rage on the page. Write it down. Now, I'll either write it down in my journal, I'll Marco Polo, or send a video to myself, and I will just dump it all out. Now, I don't know about you. I've done this several years ago before I even knew this was a great tool. Had a notebook. I was really mad. I actually kind of wrote a letter, and that was what my journal was a letter to him about why I was so fucking mad and why I was pissed. Because my thought was, what, you don't give a shit. I'm over here trying to do this, and you honestly didn't care that this was what was going on. Like, I wrote it out in the journal. Now, once I dumped it out on paper and I looked at it, had the thoughts, is this really true? Is that really the way he thinks? No, I don't know that. I can't prove that in a court of law, but it made me feel this way. Is that the way I want to feel? No. Is this useful? No. Was it kind to even think this way? No. Once I got it all written down, I felt so much better. It was out of my brain. It's like cleaning house. You're cleaning out your brain, you're dumping it out on the paper. And then when I was done, I have a fire pit on the back of my porch. It's a gas fire pit. Light that little thing up and burn that paper. And just like the ashes floating away, I was relieved. I felt so much better that I got it out and I didn't go in there and lose my shit on him, which would have caused, an argument, because I don't want to argue with my husband. I don't want to do that. So putting the rage down, writing it down, why I was pissed, getting it all out of my head helped me instead of me going over and busting the cabinets open and eating my ass off. That's not useful. But that's how we do it. We tie our feelings and emotions back to the food. That's the way I am. I'm just had a bad day, come home, drink a glass of wine. It's the same thing. Now I just decide to put the rage down, write it down, why you're pissed, why this is going on. Once I'm done with it, I destroy it. You can burn it while you're sitting around the fire, or you can shred it, or you can rip it into small pieces. If you're afraid somebody's going to find it and you don't want them to read those words, you can destroy it. So that's just another way of writing it out. It's just getting those thoughts down on paper, and then you're getting rid of them. You're examining them and like showing yourself that these are just not true. You're just in the heat of the moment, and I don't have to eat over it. I can actually write it down. So just remember, there's no true way, wrong or right, to journal. The important thing is just getting it down on paper, and it is one of the tools that has helped me lose my weight. Because once I started noticing the thoughts and why I was wanting to eat, examining them, looking at them, coaching myself through them, thinking that's just not true, these are not useful. And then, yeah, I could ask myself, how else would I like to think about this? So here's some questions that you can actually use when you do the rage on the page. You can ask yourself, what was I upset about today or yesterday? What happened? What really got under my skin about the situation? What got under my skin? And did I do anything that I'm really not proud of? How else could I have reacted? Now, once you get those questions answered, you could ask yourself, how else would I like to ask? How else would I like to act? How else would I like to show up? So I hope this helps you today. That's just a few other ways to journal. Remember the 22 journal prompts. If you don't have them, you can drop down in the link below and sign up for those. And yes, you get all my, but that's okay, because I'm not going to record this 10 times, because everything in life does not have to be exactly perfect. Just like the way that we do our new lifestyle of eating, we don't have to eat perfect to lose weight. Consistency is the name of the game. That's something I want to teach you. But drop down, get the journal prompts. If you want to see the other videos, it's back on Monday on my Facebook page is the way to do the 5-minute journal. And then the longer journaling video is just a couple weeks back, not even a couple weeks really, with the 22 journal prompts. And if you sign up for them, you'll also get a short video talking about the journal prompts. You'll get the video that I think you reviewed when you first signed up. But that's all I've got for you. I hope you enjoy. And remember, journaling is a key to our weight loss.